Rogers TV.
Rogers TV Durham would like to acknowledge that we are on the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation of the Mississauga Nation. May we respectfully honor the knowledge and understanding of the Indigenous stewards of these ancestral lands and ensure that the voices of the First Peoples are represented in our collections, programs, and services.
The opinions expressed in the following programs are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers Cable or Rogers TV.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of At the Heart of Business. I'm your host, Judith Tait. At the Heart of Business is a conversation with women in business discussing their challenges and successes. My first guest today is Michelle Machado, owner or founder of Luminara Academy. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Judith. Thank you for having me here.
Thanks so much for being here. I'm really, really interested to find out all about this unique business that you have.
Thank you.
Luminara Academy. First of all, how did you come up with that name?
I think I was looking for something. My business is geared towards kids, and so I wanted something that really talked about the potential to eliminate possibilities and ignite potential, and so that's where Luminara comes from. You know, just that ability, that creating that inner light that is within each of us, and I think that's how it was born.
Okay, so tell us a bit about what you do.
So the business, Luminara Academy, our mission is to empower kids, tomorrow's future generation of leaders, with the essential life skills that they will need to navigate tomorrow's world. I think today in the world of AI that we live, our world is changing so rapidly with technology, with young kids immersed in technology. I think one of the biggest challenges that I've seen as an educator of 20 years, having worked in countries like Australia, in Hong Kong, in England, and in Canada, is that when I've seen kids in university, a lot of them struggle with change when they're in a new environment, when they are in a setting that's away from the comfort of their home, and they have to deal with pressures of academia, pressures of social life, and some of them start to crumble, and it really gave me pause. And with that, as a mom of two kids, one of the things I had to ask myself is, what can we do as a society to really prepare our kids so that they're better able to deal with the challenges that life will inevitably bring? And that is where Luminara Academy was born. So our mission, our programs that we offer is for ages 9 up to ages 17. And we teach them mindset. We talk about emotional intelligence, leadership, communication. How do you understand your own emotions and those of others? How do you build empathy? Because that is the cornerstone of relationships. How do you lead in a team when not everyone's going to have the same opinion as you and you still have to get the job done? Yeah. How do you manage those sort of conflicts that arise within teams? And so those are some of the skills that we teach within our programs at Luminara Academy.
Okay, so it sounds like quite a wide variety and very unique. So yes. What's your motivation for starting this business? Because I know you mentioned that you've taught all over the world, which is amazing.
Yes.
So what's the foundation for you?
I think, having seen kids really struggle with mental health and seeing kids struggle with the ability to deal with very sometimes seemingly easy problems really gave me pause as an educator. So, I've worked both as an educator as an academic administrator, and for me that was my why, because I really believe that in today's world and with the world really rapidly evolving, our kids are losing that ability to communicate, are losing that ability to understand not just, their own emotions, but also understanding and not conforming to the pressures that social media brings.
Yeah.
And I think for me that has been the biggest factor. I'm a mom of 2 young girls, and I already see them. They're nowhere near the teenage years, but I already see them interested in social media and sort of saying, oh, I want to look like that person, or that person does this, and oh, I want to be like that person, which is great. But at the same time, we don't want to create that stance of conforming. Yeah. We want to teach them the power of mindset, the power of thoughts. And I see so much of mental health. I've seen so much of mental health issues in the universities that I've worked at across the globe. And it's really given me pause. Why are our kids struggling at that point? What can we do as a society to better help them? And so really those were the foundations of why I started this business.
And how would someone know that this is what they need for their kids?
I think, these are the skills that everyone needs. As adults, these are the skills that are now in the workforce becoming more prominent.
Okay.
So, when we talk about, selling this business and selling our programs, I think one of the most challenging things about that programs is we're selling intangible skills here. We're talking about, you're not going to register your kid and they're going to come out like knowing how to, create art or, have done an experiment. We're talking about soft skills. But we've leveraged insights from, very reputable sources like the World Economic Forum, Harvard Business Review, Forbes, McKinsey Insights. They are all putting out research and evidence out there that these are the skills not just needed in today's world, but tomorrow's world. And so why wait till our kids become adults to start teaching them? Why not start early? And so that's sort of the rationale for why we are positioning this. So I think every kid needs these skills. And in all of our programs, we talk about mindset because it is only later in life that I discovered the power of your thoughts in shaping your feelings and shaping your emotions and ultimately influencing your behavior. Now, if we can teach that to kids at a younger age, imagine the momentum and the power that it creates within them to really achieve their potential.
Oh, yes. I love it. Now, do you partner with schools?
Yeah, so we are a relatively new business. So we've put out applications to TDSB to be an educational partner. But we do, as part of our program, we bring in guest speakers from industry. So we bring in business owners, entrepreneurs, we're bringing in police officers, we're bringing in people from the business world, the corporate world, to really provide, their skill set and to teach these soft skills and how it applies in their industry. Because again, these are soft skills that are valuable in any industry, and these are the skills that AI cannot replace. And I really want to speak to that because AI is taking over our world today. But the human interaction and the ability to communicate and understand each other and get things done and work through conflict, no one can replace that.
I'm glad you mentioned AI. Are you noticing with the kids that you work with that it's a problem? Because I love working with it. I thought this is so amazing. It saves you so much time, but I can see how it's probably not the best for children. So tell me about the challenges with that.
Yeah, I think so. In our program that we ran recently in March, you can see kids and technology. The moment you have a break, they're into their devices, and they're doing different things with those devices. Some of them are doing educational games. Some of them are just on social media. But I think AI in itself is going to be is part of our world, and it is going to continue to be that way. I don't think it's something that we can shelter our kids from, but it's teaching them how to use it in a way that supports their learning rather than sort of saying you can't use it altogether. However, when it comes to AI versus, building these soft skills, you can't learn these soft skills through AI. Yes, AI is getting very good. I mean, they've just released a new version recently where they can look at what's your surroundings, and they can interact with you and tell you what you're wearing and whether you're dressed appropriately for an interview. I mean, AI is getting very smart, that's for sure. But I think when you are in a physical interaction with someone in a workforce, you can't just rely on AI to say, well, how do I deal with this situation? You're going to have to make very quick decisions. And so having that skill set, that innate ability to do that is something that AI just won't be able to replace.
Wow.
At least in my opinion.
No, I agree. And I can see how it can be problematic, not just for, a business like yours, but just in learning in schools in general.
Absolutely.
So as a new business and as a leader in business, how do you stay true to your values?
I think for me, I'm just, you have to have a really strong sense of self, and you have to be really true to your own values and to the values of the business. I think for me, with everything that's out there, with the pressures of social media, for example, so starting as a new business, there's that pressure that, you need to post, you need to be out there, you need to, make sure everyone hears about you. And for me, it's, as a personal, as an individual, I've never been that person to post constantly on social media. That's just not who I am. And so as a business owner, I realized you have to do that to be able to obviously outreach and to come across potential customers. But there is a relationship of quantity versus quality. And for me, I believe in quality. And so we don't post every day on our social media platforms because that's just not authentically who I am as the founder of the business. And so I think you really have to have a strong sense of self. You really need to know who you are and what your values are and that of the business. And I think when you do that, you can overcome the pressures that society will throw at you, which will inevitably always be there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's really important too, because there, as you said, like there is that pressure to be online and to constantly be posting. But there are so many people who are very successful in business, and you never see them online.
Absolutely.
And they build their businesses just by word of mouth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So good for
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
That's good. So, what about any failures that were like a blessing in disguise?
So when we launched, I had this very big goal that, I wanted to run this big program to really, because I think these skills are so important, and, I'd love to impart that knowledge to as many kids as possible. But because, again, we're selling intangible skills, it's harder for parents to see the value of what we're offering. So we ended up with a small group under 10, and actually that was a blessing in disguise, because what we realized through that experience was the range of abilities that the students bring into the program, their willingness to participate in some of the activities, what activities worked well, what didn't, and also the realization that actually we probably need a little bit more activities because they're so good, they're so bright that sometimes they complete some of the activities quite quickly. It was sort of those lessons that we took. We were also able to build very good rapport with the participants, and I think that for me was the key. Because we were a small group, they had a safe environment to share, some of the challenges they faced. We had facilitators that worked one-on-one with them, and we were able to maintain better communication and frequent communication with the parents that also provided them some individual feedback on their own child. And so I think that in itself was a blessing in disguise. And I think moving forward, we do want to start to remain, relatively small so we can maintain that rapport.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
So you've been building your business for, past year now?
We launched late last fall,
Okay.
and we ran program in March, and we're running some programs in the summer now, and, and expanding as well.
So tell us what's next.
Yeah, so in the summer we have 3 programs. We have a foundational skills for preteens, which is ages 9 to 12, and it's really geared towards building emotional literacy, because I think it's a younger age group. You need to teach them how to understand the emotions that they face, and also teaching them a little bit about active listening, communication, and building in leadership and resilience and teamwork. Mm-hmm. Then we have an EQ-led leadership program that is for a higher age group, ages 13 to 18 or to 17. I think as you have teenagers who are getting ready for part-time jobs in university, really teaching them how to lead with empathy, to lead in teams that don't necessarily have the same opinion as you, really building in that emotional intelligence, because people are the success to any project, to any organization. Yeah. And finally, we have the Smart Skills Toolkit, which is for ages 10 to 15. And that is really talking about some more tangible skills like digital literacy, how to navigate online safely, how to be prepared for, the digital footprint, and being careful about what sort of information you put online. We talk about financial literacy, we talk about time management, project management. So there's a range of more tangible skills that we teach in that program. And all of that is coming up this July, and our registrations are currently open.
That's great. So if you could give one quick tip of advice to someone just starting in business, what would that be?
I think, like you've asked me, know your why and believe in yourself, because, not everyone will understand your vision for what you want to do and why you want to do it. But as long as you understand that and you believe in yourself, I think you're able to use that to get through every obstacle that will inevitably come your way. And I know you've asked me for one tip, but I will say leverage your network, because your network is your net worth. And I think any successful business relies on a community to help support them. So
great words of advice.
Thank you very much, Judith. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. This was a great conversation.
Thank you.
It was so nice to have you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. We'll be speaking with Ruth Edwards of Shine Mobile Toronto next.